Good morning. The sun is trying to shine. Parked up. Yes, it's been, yesterday was terrible wet. But I remember from the last one I was building or making this extension and a little bit of work for the narrowboat. Maria said I should rather I made. So at the end of the day, we made this. I'll let you see it. So I'm going to watch that tiller which doesn't roll the brass. But anyway, we made it up. This is a piece of old ash. And new ash for the, or reasonably newish ash for the handle turned off and whatnot. Bit of brass work and whatnot, business, so hopefully she'll be well chuffed with as such. There's a slight turn on the, as you can see, there isn't a perfect 90 degree on the thing, but it's meant for that to tilt the, this is slack, so it all works and gives you the point. And when it's put in, or put on, it will work as it should. It's not till it all goes together. I'm going to damage it now. It's coming for it at the end of the week, so where to put it? Because I think better just probably leave it where it is. Drop your feet, you'll get all about it. So anyway, the old handle that I showed you, I bored it out and put an acrylic bush in it, and bored out for the underside and put a brass grub into it, and siliconed it up. I siliconed this one just rather in case I need to go back into it at some point. I don't really know, just in case. That keeps it exactly where it should be, so it'll be easy enough to take out if need be. So I don't want to put something in its way here rather than have it roll off here. I need to organise things a bit better, you see. But I'm busy work. You wait for a bus and 2 buses come along in 1 week, in 1 day, 1 morning, 1 hour. 2 buyers for 2 or 3 buyers this week, and moved bits and pieces of stuff, pokers and priests and on 1 or 2 other things. But I'm busy working on the switch that's at the back there, the antler. I've got 2 buyers wanting it, but I'm going to have to give it to the first one. Basically because he was first, so I could have got more money from the second one, but and a considerable bit, but anyway, we can't do that, we won't do that. I didn't know how rare it was until a stalker came to see me about something and spied it and went, "Oh Jim, where do you get that?" Told him the story behind it, and oh, he says, "That's as good a switch as I've ever seen." He says, and he told me about the history of it, of that type of thing, and why it was shot. And when he told me, it made sense. He went, "Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is." And I'm not really up on it all, but he was and gave me the whole thing about it all, and I went, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." And so, but he says, "I haven't seen one as good as that." He says, and I thought it was about 4 or 5 year old, and the chap had sold it to me thought the same, but no, he reckoned 8 or 9, and that's why he says normally they've been taken out long before that. The big problem with this type of antler, if the stag develops that type of antler, and is when it comes to the rut. And as soon as he said it, I went, "Oh yeah, of course it does," because instead of the antlers locking up, that type of set of antlers, that could kill a stag, and so that's why they're taken out, because they become a danger to everything. But that one, he reckoned, should have been taken out a lot younger, but wasn't. So in some ways you don't normally get them as good as that, So he says, you're fortunate in that. And he told me what he would willing to pay for it and what it was worth. And I went, oh, gee whiz, he sold it, haven't I? Well, and nowhere near what, but anyway, it'll not matter. I'm going to make good money on it anyway, which will pay for all the other bits and pieces. But I've quite a considerable bit of work to do on it yet, which is work that I've not really done. This is the first time I've actually mounted antler as such, and so busily doing that, or working on that right now, getting the wood and insert in through to, I need fixing points when it comes to put on the plaque. I'm not decided on what woods or what we're going to do with that yet, that's all up in the air, but probably a visit to see my favourite sawmillers will probably be on the card at some point, so we'll get round to that. I've no doubt we'll find something there that will fit the business. But it's cutting the skull. The skull was in poor condition. I knew that, and as you can see, I had to cut quite a chunk off it. I've managed to keep what I wanted to keep on it, and I'll need to finish it off. I'll need to finish it all up, and but it will get proper finished, and it will get a coat of. The skulls, they tend to dip them in peroxide, bleach them, but this skull's not in good enough condition to do this. I wouldn't want to do this with it at all. I don't really know, it's so frail. Bloody good teeth in it, mind you. That's what they made, but I say teeth made with him, then. Cracking teeth, right? And he was telling me about the layer situation, and that's how he was able to tell the age of it, with the layers on it and whatnot. So yeah, it was very interesting. Always interesting talking to somebody who really knows a lot more than I do about these kind of things and whatnot. But to get back to the tiller extension and the thing with the bits of brass, I was very fortunate. I was working on something else at the time, and I was using what I'd salvaged a few years ago, old brass, and from these garden type sprayers that they used to use way back. It's like some like stirrup, they weren't proper stirrup sprayers, but they were that kind of thing. But it was old brass, and it was good brass. And I was something else I was doing that I had to cut up, and so when I was doing that, I found that the bits and pieces worked in quite nicely, and it gives it a nice look and feel. So that's, hopefully it will. But how I get waylaid at times or off the beaten, when I was doing it, and I looked at these were the tops of two of them. You know what I seen? I seen salt and peppers. Shaker. So I couldn't stop myself. I ended up making a set of them. The wood, by the way, that they're sitting in is the fruit wood. It's plum. It's the last of it. I turned it. It's been lying around for 20, 30 years, something like that. And that's how long I keep bits and pieces, like, you know. So I ended up building, just as a bit of fun, building this set out of it, like, you know. And you just say you can't stop yourself, right? But yeah, so that's what we'll be doing the rest of this week, I think. And I've got another one lick of varnish to put on this yet, so this will get rubbed down. I like to leave a bit of time between them, let that coat harden off before I go into a very fine wet and dry and rub it down. So I like to leave it till it gets they reckon 24 hours and that, but I like to leave it quite a chunk longer actually. Just depending on the weather at times too, depending on how, but leave it time, give it time. There's no point in washing it. But that's that. So we'll be working on another little thing right now. A hedge knife. Busy reforming this. Is it worthwhile? Well, the chap seems to think so. Right? I don't know, nobody uses them anymore. But it was broken at some point, and I'm just looking to see it. It has been repaired, but it was wrapped up in a massive amount of tape. But it's an old one because it's a forged knife. The steelwork's forged on it. A bit of wrought iron, a bit of iron and a bit of steel put together, and to give you the combination. And you can tell it's been forged. It's been stamped too. I can't just make out exactly what's on it, but it is an old knife. Don't use them anymore. I think it's just somebody came and bought something similar for this, we put on the wall. On the wall. Okay, man. I hadn't considered that at all. I was busy trying to explain to her that she would need to this and that. Oh, she's not going to use it. She just put it on the wall. I went, oh, right, okay, fair enough. So, fine, I've nothing to worry about anything, it's okay, right? So a lot of these old tools are finding their way onto decoration, I think, more than anything else, like, you know. It's a shame we don't have hedgers anymore. As such, because the mess that they're busily making in the countryside right now, these flails and whatnot, bloody carry on, it's just an absolute bloody mess. They're destroying them, they're letting disease in and smashing them to bits. And, oh dear, these flails are already in particular types of hedging, but on beech and things like that, they just make a bloody mess altogether, like, you know, and hawthorn and that, just. But anyway, there's no point going on about that. So that's what we've been working on. And time I was wondering, I'm saying to myself, is that working this morning or is it not working this morning? But so we're just going to do a little bit on this antler, and it'll probably get, rather than bleach it, I'll probably freshen it all up. I'll give it a coat of a light coat of wood glue, and probably give it a paint with plaster of Paris, and glue all the joints, bits and pieces together first, and everything super glue, run it all off. In fact, I had to glue one of the eye sockets when I was busy cutting it off. It was so difficult to actually cut it without the whole bloody thing disintegrating. Yes, that was that. But we got there. Oh, gee whiz, like, you need a lot of pair of hands when you're at this game. Anyway, I hope that was of interest, and if I'm going to have a bacon, I can't have bacon anymore. I'm going to have something, I'll maybe use my salt and pepper set, you know. Oh dear. Anyway, all the best. I'll catch you again. Cheers.